私の意味を知らねえだろう、ベイビー。ソウルキングだぜ。
My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising, is a painfully average anime movie that overshadows the positives with its piss-poor antagonists and fanfic-ass writing. I've never felt more like an insane person than when I was looking up reviews for this movie. I guess I should start with the positives, though. The setup is better than Two Heroes, and even the lion's share of other anime movies. The concept of Class 1A taking over hero operations on a small rural island is great. We really get to see a bit of all the students doing their thing. And the setting of Nabu Island is simple, but it's charming. And you definitely root for the heroes to protect it and the citizens. And that's about it. Now for the bad shit. The plot doesn't make any sense. So you're telling me the Safety Commission thought that it was a good idea to leave a bunch of high school freshmen in charge of an entire island with no pro heroes anywhere for miles. And these are the same high schoolers who have been the target of multiple attacks from the largest criminal organization in the world that have known teleportation quirks and someone on the inside giving them intel. They don't even leave Aizawa there, who's basically been their guardian ever since they moved into the dorms. But whatever, I guess he's just back in Japan at UA, just chilling in his sleeping bag, guzzling down applesauce. Like, the police are giving UA shit for hosting an event on school grounds with a full staff of heroes in the middle of mainland Japan, in the anime right now. So how'd they get away with this? Also, in the beginning, why did they have cars just chasing the League when they just had Endeavor, like, on the highway further down, just so we could deal with the truck anyway? Like, what are they gonna do? Like, what's Rocklock gonna do? I mean, if he's driving the car, how could he, like, freeze the truck in place? Did they really just expect the League of Villains to just let him get within touching range of the truck? Congratulations, guys! You lost, like, 2 cars full of heroes due to your lack of foresight and planning. Also, why did the one doctor give 9 all for 1, but not the regeneration quirk that they already had from the Nomus? And also, he has this quirk that lets him identify other people's quirks, but how did he not know that one kid's dad could only affect one type of blood type? Like, was it just like, Google search for people with cell regeneration quirks, but he didn't, like, it was, like, not specified? Like, what? And they just sort of dropped the whole, like, quirk seeing thing after a while, because I guess it's just not important. After seeing the movie, I totally forgot about it until I looked up what his quirks were later. Like, why'd they even bother giving it to him in the first place? Why didn't he just, like, look it up in, like, oh, there's a database of people, and they have a cell regeneration quirk? And speaking of that, why'd they even bother giving 9 cell degeneration in the first place? Like, it's a huge problem that, like, they base their entire plan on, like, their entire ending plan on, and then it's just not a problem. Like, they plan this whole thing for him to use his quirk, overuse it, you know, air shields, laser beams, dragons, and that doesn't do anything, but, like, using his lightning quirk does it, until it just doesn't. They're just like, fuck it. We're gonna go with magical butterfly bullshit mode. Straight out of fucking Naruto and Choji, bro. Like, what the fuck? And he already used up the things on his back before, right? Like, they showed, like, the syringes or whatever with the juice, the perp drank in his back, just, like, being used up already. But, like, he just gets it back, and all the antagonists are kind of bullshit, to be honest. Like, you can't just have a bunch of, like, the lackeys of the main villain be stronger than, like, 90% of other characters in the series. Like, what? Like, imagine this fucking clown guy from Strong World was, like, stronger than all 3 admirals at the same time. Or, like, these fucking lame-o wig guys from Kingdom of the Crescent Moon were stronger than all of the Akatsuki put together. But, like, that's basically what Chimera is. He's got like super strength, speed, stamina, endurance. He's able to power himself up even more. He's able to create wings that are capable of just like negating Todoroki's fire, and he can just shoot fire that's able to torch like half of the fucking island they're on. It was nuts! I've never, like, Todoroki can't do that. Fucking Endeavor probably could, but he's like the #1 hero. Why? It just blows my mind. How'd they get away with that? And I understand the idea that they needed to be stronger than the students, so they had to team up in order to fight each of them, and that they'd all get a chance to shine. But my friend Steven said it best. If everyone gets a chance to shine, then nobody does. And I'm fucking sick of every goddamn review for this stupid movie saying, all the characters get a chance to shine. This movie shows off every single character, and they get to do their thing. And they get to shine in their own special way. No, they don't! Do you really think Kagekure had a chance to shine? When she did, let me think about this. She did nothing the whole movie. Or maybe how Ojiro and Sato shined when they got one-hit KO'd by Chimera. Yeah, that was real good, huh? And then they proceeded to not do anything for the rest of the movie. Ooh, maybe Ashido and Tokiyami, how they didn't get a definitive victory against Slice. Because, like, she just caves in the wall around them, even though she's, like, being accosted by full-power Dark Shadow. And how come Dark Shadow wasn't already at full power from the start? The cave didn't get any darker during the fight. I'm getting sidetracked. But even then, like, I was expecting her to come back, because they didn't, like, show them beating her the same way the other guys got beaten. It was just lazy, like, they cut out a scene or something like that. But then she just doesn't come back. Like, I feel like an insane person, because every single other review for this movie has the exact same shit on it.
Season, Heroes Rising gives everyone in Class 1A their chance to shine, but
I really love that, I really do. Pretty much every single member of Class 1A gets a moment to really shine in this movie.
And gives them space to shine when villains eventually attack.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I see the problem here. You see, when everyone was typing up their articles and everything, their autocorrect corrected Deku and Bakugo to everyone. Ha! That makes total sense. I can't believe I didn't see it before. Like, it's totally makes more sense now that everyone else's autocorrect meant to say Deku and Bakugo instead of everyone. That's... okay, I get it, right? But the most heinous thing this movie does is right at the end. When Deku and Bakugo have their backs against the wall, and the last-ditch plan that Deku has is to give Bakugo one for all. What?! In the most baffling move ever made in any anime movie. Scratch that. Product. Ever. Heroes Rising attempts to have the final plot hook be a complete and utter shit cannon of the status quo at the last stretch of the movie. And in doing so, only a few options remain to fix it. And they're both equally bullshit. Either they play it off as, oh, it was a dream. We beat the villain and you were in a coma the whole time. Or it didn't count. They just said, oh, you didn't actually have one for all. And they kind of did the second one, where the transfer didn't go through. What? And throw in some convenient and really just inconsequential amnesia at the end to just make it even more contrived. Like when Luffy accidentally used Gear Second in Karakuri Island, or when Goku went into like Proto Super Saiyan in Lord Slug. It was at least something that was coming up in the series that the movie writers knew about kind of ahead of time, but also were incomplete versions of those transformations. But this is just some fanfiction nonsense. Irreversible fanfiction nonsense, might I add. It's like the writer's room. They just took some recorded conversations of fans being like, "Oh man, what would the powered up version of Bakugo's quirk be? It would be like atom bombs, huh? Haha, yeah, you're right. Well, what if Todoroki had it?" And then it just goes on and on. But they just were like, hell, let's go with that. That's a good idea. The idea that it just, the transfer didn't go through. They just had to write in some fucking dumbass bullshit. Because literally any other way, they would not be able to, go back on it. Because either Deku loses One for All, or if Bakugo gives it back to him, then Bakugo loses Explosion. It's so stupid and contrived, and just nobody brings it up, ever. I'm speechless. Even at the end of the movie, it was so dumb. Literally everyone in the theater, when you would expect an applause moment or a hype moment, there was nothing. Nobody said anything. And I can't believe I'm actually complaining about nobody applauding at the end of a movie. But this, it's so stupid. Overall, this movie is a mess of fan service with no rhyme or reason to it. That really could have just been split up into multiple OVAs with individual groups of students that could give them the spotlight in more of a closed setting, rather than trying to cram in 20 different characters doing things in an hour-and-a-half movie. I made a better idea for a movie on the way back home from the theater. So the top hero school from America challenges UA to an Olympics type event in the US. This allows Class 1A, maybe some other students, like the Big 3 or Class 1B, to go up against their peers. And it allows for a shit ton of world building. And if it's written by Horikoshi, how Oda writes his movies, then all the new world building and characters and stuff are canon, however, the story itself just isn't. Like how Shiki and Zephyr and Bullet all exist in the One Piece story, but the events of those movies just don't. Which still is world building, and it allows for us to get more of an in-depth look at Hero Society, not just in Japan. The premise is simple, it gives us some exciting fights and set pieces, and it can break the mold of just being this world-ending travesty or a desperate fight to the death. It's just a fun romp that could let the main characters actually shine by doing their thing. But I guess, with all of these people saying it's an 80 or a 90%, I'm just the crazy one. So who really gives a shit? Feel free to berate me on how much I just can't enjoy a movie because I'm too cynical and just can't have fun in the comments. Or if you're also a crazy person like me, maybe you can give this video a like. Who knows, maybe the one YouTube video that doesn't like this movie can stand out. I'd really appreciate it. I've also got another video, maybe 2 videos coming down the pipeline. It's just the one is taking forever to finish, and I just thought of the idea for the second one. But if you hit subscribe, then you'll be able to see when those come out. So I've been Soul King, and I guess if I had to rate the movie, I'd probably give it a 5.5 out of 10. It was okay. It wasn't spectacular. Studio Bones kills it as always. The fights they all looked good, but I just wish the actual content of them was more substantial and made more sense. But this has been Soul King, signing out. I'm not actually going with that, right? Yeah, no, I can't just copy teching. That's fucked. It breaks my heart to have to say goodbye. If only I had a heart in the first place. I have a sore throat right now, so I'm not gonna do the laugh, but maybe I'll just edit it in. Okay, bye.